Hey guys, Mist here again for another video today, and we are back with our Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode. And in this one, we will be here to do the entry draft of the 2019 season. So this is season 2 that we are in right now. We went on a pretty damn good season 1 run, and then season 2, we failed to make the playoffs even after making the Nick Schmaltz trade, who led our team in points and almost led the league in points. So we're going to hope to bring him back. I don't remember if I re-signed him or not, or if I offered him an extension or not. Let's go and see, actually. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. I have not done this series in a little while. I have not uploaded any videos on this series in a little while. It has almost been 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, so I am sorry about that. Is there any way I can... Actually, yes, I just go in here. Yeah. I just want to show you, because I believe in the last episode, I showed you guys what the extensions were going to be. So, yeah, so let's see. So we've got Artemi Panarin, who I re-signed for I believe, 8-year deal at $7 million, which is a pretty good contract for Artemi Panarin, who is a 92 overall at 27, arguably the best player on the team, so we'll bring him back. Obviously, Seth Jones is still locked up for quite a few more years, which I'm very happy about. Then Zach Werenski. He is on a 5-year deal that I signed him to. A 5-year, 4.7 for an 89 overall defenseman. That is 21. I also think that is pretty good. And then, yes, I believe I did re-sign Schmaltz before he was able to get a really big boost. And turns out that was pretty helpful because I got him on a $4.3 million deal for the next 4 seasons. And I believe those were the extensions we made. Now, Nikita Zadorov actually has an extension, which I did not know of. Alright, but it's not a bad extension, plus off the season that he had, it's not too bad. 31 points, his best season yet, so hopefully he'll continue to add to that. He is listed as a defensive defenseman. I'd say he's really good defensively. Very good physical stats. He's not very fast. He's got a decent shot for a defenseman. Decent puck skills. He's got a higher offensive awareness than defensive awareness, I should say. So, I don't know. Zadorov, we will see how he does. Hopefully he could get around that 30-point total once again, and we will see. So yeah, he's actually on an extension, which I did not know about. And then last but not least, I believe, is just Bobrovsky, who we re-signed to a 7-year or a $7 million deal, which I believe was 8 seasons. Yeah, so obviously that is quite the contract for Bobrovsky, being 30 years old. I don't see us going that far into the series, but there's always a chance. Anything could happen. We shall see. Obviously, Michael Hutchinson is our goaltender. I believe in the last episode, it might not have been the last episode, but I did trade away Ryan Murray and Eunice Korpisalo. So, yeah, so I guess that is basically it. Now I want to go and let's do the draft. Now, this team is looking pretty damn solid, I'm not going to lie. Now, it'll obviously look better once we make it to the regular season, and I'll show you guys what it will look like. So I completely forgot to look at what we did in the last episode before this episode, or before I pressed record for this episode. So yeah, Nico Eskalainen and Hans Ritzel will go 1 and 2 more than likely, or they should at least. So yeah, don't know where our pick is. We have the 10th overall selection. Oh yes, since missing the playoffs, we got the 10th overall selection. So hopefully we could get something decent here. I do not know what we could get. I did look at this Scavello guy, just for the fact that he's high elite. or he's projected high elite is tempting. Although Rich Thompson kind of looks better. Well, we'll see. Let's go through this first. So we've got Caedmon McLaren, 81 acceleration, 77 passing, 73 faceoff, 75 shot blocking. That's not bad. Those are exact stats. Warren Fitzgerald, 72 offensive awareness, though. For a defenseman, that's okay, but I'd rather higher offensive awareness than that. Scavello doesn't really seem that good. Moss, he's an exact top 6, but I don't have a single exact stat from him. So, to be honest, I would say it would be between Rich Thompson and Caedmon McLaren. And to be honest, I really like this name in Caedmon McLaren, so we're going to go for him. A right-wing sniper, let's see. Medium top 6, 68 overall, that's not too bad. Good shot, good skating, not a bad physical category for a sniper. He is also 6'2", 202 pounds, that's not bad. He's a pretty good player all around, if you ask me. Now, I do want to see if there was a better selection we should have gone for. Morrison, no. Winnick, no. Thompson, no. So I guess I'm glad we didn't go for Thompson, although he is 17, so who knows, he could be better in 1 year's time. It all depends. Actually, I want to go back to McLaren to see. His offensive awareness is 78. So, interesting. He is Canadian, which means he will be playing in the juniors as well. So, interesting. Let's see. Who goes 15th? Warren Fitzgerald went 15th, and he was a medium top 4. So, not too bad by the looks of it. The first round was pretty solid. Do I go back? Yeah, let's see. Eskalainen obviously went first overall, then Ratzel, then Hughes, then this Pedersen guy, and then Pietrangelo. Caulfield went, Foote, Nystrom, or we got McLaren, and then we'll just scroll through and see if there's anybody maybe should have gone for. Pisani, maybe 18. Yeah, I mean, another sniper though. Is there anybody that I really missed out on, like a decent overall with a better potential than medium top 6? Not by the looks of it. Actually, maybe not. Lucic. Trent Lucic maybe would have been a better selection than Caedmon McLaren. I don't know, though. Obviously, time will tell, so we'll see. And then there was also this Hagelin guy, the defenseman, Calle Hagelin. Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Ivan Varlamov. Jesus Christ. Okay, what a wicked defenseman Philadelphia drafted in the second round. Holy shit. Ivan Varlamov, 19 years old, medium elite, 72 overall. Wow, he's got some sick stats, too. For a 72 overall 19-year-old, that is a crazy pickup. Not gonna lie, that is really good. Could we get a selection like that here and with our second round selection? Probably not, although you never know. Now, let's see, who should I go for? We've got Pat Jaspers. Now, his stats don't look to be as good as that last player that went, or the player that, what was his name? I already forget his name. Ivan. I remember his name is Ivan. The player that got drafted to Philadelphia. If we could find someone like that. Junior Gardiner, someone from France. Joe Betts. He's got a really good athletic category for a 17-year-old. It's got decent stats all around, to be fair. Gary Seal, Andrew Purcell, Tommy Naronin, Simon LeBeau, I think is real, Ronald Platt, Richard Dvorak. I don't know who I should go for here. Maybe Jaspers. He does not look to be as good as Ivan was. I don't remember his last name. What about Schoenmakers? Schoenmakers? I don't know. I don't really want a defensive defenseman. You know what? We're going to go with Betts. I feel like Betts just is the best selection here. A medium starter at 55. Alright, not bad. So what was that guy's name? Varlamov, yes. Ivan Varlamov. Alright, so let's just sim through a little bit. Actually, we'll just sim to the next, our next selection, which is 16th overall. Okay. Yeah, also in the second round. So we'll pick up someone else here as well, which means I could probably go for the defensive defenseman in Jaspers, even though I don't really want to, just because I don't like defensive defensemen. Although I'm sort of totally tempted to go for Junior Gardner. And you know what? My girlfriend was born in France, so we're going to go for Junior Gardner. A medium top 9. For someone from France, that's pretty good out of the draft. I mean, usually they are around that potential, I would say, if not worse. So that's not a bad selection, I'd say. Blugis and Jaspers were both medium top 6, so basically we got the same equivalent, or we got the equivalent of a forward to what Jaspers is as a defenseman. But I'm happy with the pick. St. Louis was a high fringe starter who I did look at. Platt was a 62 medium backup. Well, second round wasn't great. This draft doesn't look to be all that good in the first 3 rounds so far. The first round was pretty poor. I mean, if we didn't have those 2 created players in there, that would probably be pretty rough. Now we have 2 Germans, which I totally want to go for. Emil Graps, or yeah, I'd say probably Graps, and then Steven Bush, or Bush. Bush. I'm just going to go with Bush. It just sounds like it makes more sense. Ruslan Kolsenik, Petri Vanainen, Petri Hamalainen, okay. Merrick Sprux, or Sprux, I wonder if it's pronounced like Spructus, Sprux, I don't know. Keith Reza, Callie DeKell, okay, that's an interesting name. Devin McGrath, Callie Timander, Cameron Reimer. I don't know, man. Do we have another pick? We do. We have the 16th and 18th selections in this round as well. So you know what? We're just gonna go for Bush right now. We're gonna go for Bush, and hopefully Graps will also be there, just because I want to go with the Germans. Medium 7th and Bush. That is not great. Okay. Did Graps go? No, he did not. Although, to be fair, medium 7th is what everybody else is getting. And then saying that's the equivalent to a bottom 6, which is as a forward. So, I guess really it's not a worse pick, but it's also not a better one. Will Graps be any better, though? He has some league interest. He's also a medium 7th. Alright, so both those picks weren't great, but that is just what the norm is right now in this draft, is medium 7th. Well, in this round at least, is medium 7th. Sorry, I gotta take a breath, man. My throat hurts and I'm sick, and I'm just not doing well. So yeah, that wasn't a terrible picks for what everybody else is getting. Yuri Kuleshov is a potential option. Xavier Simoneau. Now, the first thing I saw was his agility and wrist shot power, and I was very intrigued, but then I looked at some of his other stats, and it does not look very good. I'm just not going to go for him. Remo Carlotti, Nicholas Modine, Marku Kemppainen, Jacob Pelletier, Ivan Loktionov, who actually has some interesting stats. He's got some pretty high stats. You know what? To be fair, I think I might go for Ivan Loktionov. I know he is listed as a medium 7th, but he honestly didn't look that bad. I should probably go and look at his stats, shouldn't I? Let's just go and see what his stats looked like. Or all of them, at least. Let's see. So, like I said, good skating, decent shot as a defenseman. decent puck skills, good senses, good defense, really good defense actually for a 60 overall, and then good physical stats. Who knows, if I play him with an offensive defenseman or someone that can put up points, his potential could go up and he can get a huge boost. And overall, anything could happen. Now let's just see, was there anybody who was definitely better? And yes, Remo Carlotti, who I looked at, didn't really think he would be all that great though. Cam Ellis, who I didn't look at, was a little bit better as well. Fawcett, who I never even saw. Benjamin Fawcett seems to be the best pick in that round, being a low top 6, but at 17 years old, and then Milroy, also a low top 4, although he's 19 years old. Interesting. So we have the first overall selection in the 4th round. Let's see, who should we go for here? We've got Zach DeMaio, Tag Bertuzzi, no, Saprikin, Samu Hagman, Riley Jung, interesting stats but not that great, Philip Tomasino, Patrick Rusinski, Pavel Ovechkin, nice Russian name, obviously a computer-generated player, Mika Pedersen, that's an option, Kurt Eberle, doesn't look very good, or he doesn't look very good, Jesus Petrie. I feel like I should totally go for this guy, Jesus Petrie. That's kind of a sick name, and screw it, we're gonna go for it. Jesus Petrie is a medium bottom 6. Alright, so that wasn't a good pick by any means, but what can you do? I mean, whatever. This draft just is pretty damn awful, I'm not gonna lie. I'm tempted to just go for Zach DeMaio now. Let's go and see some of these players. Bob Kidd, interesting. Tyler Del Monte. Sergei Karpatsev, who also has pretty good stats as a offensive defenseman who was listed as a 7th D. Manny Osborne. Matthias Alfredson. Logan Wheel. Henrik Grossman. You know what? We're going to go for Osborne, Manny Osborne. Pick up a grinder. Why not? Medium bottom 6. Again, pretty awful selection. And then we move to the 5th round. So let's go back to the 4th just to see. Did we miss out on anybody decent? Let's see. Not looking. Low top 4 in Del Monte. Guess I should have gone for him. Low elite and Wheel. Okay. Great. I did genuinely think about looking at Wheel, or to take him, but unfortunately I did not, and that's kind of a rough pick from us after missing out on that player. Yannick Valenti is right there, low top 9. Alright, then we got our pick in the 5th round. Let's see who we can pick up here. Hopefully someone better than the past couple of drafted players we've had. Samuel Poulin, Olivier Desroche, Nathan Allenson, Sergei Ponikarovsky, Stanislav Kavanov, Pavel Teratukin, lots of Russians, Pascal Godet, Nikolai Korostin, Mathieu Samson, Max Antoine Melanson, no. Michel Belfay. Is he real? I've never seen that name before. I don't recognize it, at least. Luke Wilson, Liam Ross, Jurgen Rankwitz. Should we go for another German? I mean, the past two didn't really work out. Screw it. We're going to go for it. Jurgen Rankwitz. Hey, low top 9. So, you know what? That wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse. But overall, that's not a bad selection. We didn't have a selection in the 6th round, so we moved to the 7th, which I presume to be our last selection of the draft. So, can we get someone good? Let's see. Stu Emerson. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. Samuel Bureau. Is that Italy? I believe so. That is interesting. An Italian coming to North America to play hockey. Steve Ribeiro. I'm just looking for a 20-year-old mainly right now. Because finding a 20-year-old could probably give us the best selection. But I also don't want someone with an awful potential like AHL bottom 6 and Peyton Krebs, who I believe is high AHL top 2. High AHL top 6, because he's a forward, my bad. Merritt Gabrick, Marshall Donaghy, Logan DeMaio, so the other DeMaio's brother. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just going with it. Emil Smedberg, Dimitri Yass, Benedict Wolfhard. It's an interesting way to spell both those names. Bedrick Novotny, weird name. Brett Kemp, Bradley Barker, Alexei Tikhonov, Edouard St. Laurent. Okay, well, we're just gonna go back up. Let's see, who was it that I was interested in? I'd say probably just Emerson. Probably the best selection. I don't know anything about Samuel Bureau. And to be fair, the France selection wasn't bad, so let's go with an Italian right now. Low top 9, who is 66 at 18. You know what? That's really not that bad. Plus, he's got a good offensive awareness stat. Ooh, he's really fast as well. You know what? That wasn't that bad of a selection, if you ask me. I'd say that was pretty damn good. All right, let's see. Who do we miss out on in the 6th round? Anybody good? Low Elite and Hutala, a defensive defenseman. Well, let's sim pick now in the 7th. I just want to see. I'm assuming that is our last pick of the draft. All right, whatever. I'd say we may have the best selection. Emerson was also a low top 9. Like I said, I'd say we had the best selection in the 7th round, and from an unlikely place of Italy, we picked up a pretty decent player, if you ask me at least. So now we will sim to the re-sign phase, which I will do in this episode. I know this episode is getting long. How long is it actually? 22 minutes, yeah. That draft took me way longer than expected. Okay, so I am sorry about that. But we'll do this quickly, hopefully at least. Let's see. So we've got Oliver Bjorkstrand. We have 5.9 million cap space. Oh, we have Bjorkstrand signed. Never mind. And Anderson and Dubois. So we all have to re-sign them next year. Milano, though, we need to re-sign. Hutchinson, we need to re-sign. Jenner, we need to re-sign. Harrington, Hannakainen, Franzen, Gabriel Carlson has really dropped off. That's kind of unfortunate, although I've never really ever seen him pan out. I'm going to qualify him as an RFA. Yeah, I'm just going to let him go to free agency. And as for all these AHL players, or players that are playing in the AHL, I guess, I don't know if I'm going to re-sign any of them. So 5.9 in cap space. Do I want to re-sign Sonny Milano? He's a much better defensive player than he is offensively. I would say at least. He's got a good shot. He's got decent puck skills. He's pretty good at skating. He can throw the body around. He is good defensively, and he's got decent senses. I mean, honestly, he just is a good third-line two-way center. You know what? Yeah, I will re-sign Sonny Milano. Can we get him on a somewhat cheap deal, though? Like 3.4 for the next 2 seasons. We'll see how he likes that. As for Michael Hutchinson, 1.5 for a backup really isn't bad. Not a two-way deal, sorry. So yeah, 1 year, he wants a decent amount of money. I mean, 82 overall backup really isn't bad, and he was doing really good in the AHL, if I'm not mistaken. I do not remember, though. Yeah, AHL, he had a 928 and a 207. He only played 5 games in the NHL and had an 893, which is kind of worrying. You know what? I've seen in this game it works sometimes. Like sometimes some goalies have a bad year and then have a good year. I'm gonna stick with Hutchinson for this season. We're gonna give him a 1-year deal at $1.5 million, and we'll see if he likes that. As for Boone Jenner now, he doesn't want a lot of money, which I am perfectly okay with. He's a very good two-way forward, also can throw the body around. How many points did he have last season? 29? It's not too bad. He's just gotten worse and worse, really, throughout his career. 49, then 34, then 32, then 29. Oh, man. Sure, we will sign him. Actually, let's make sure we get the other two first. And then we'll see how much money we have left for Jenner advance day. All right. So we got Hutchinson and we got Milano. All right. Not too bad. Let's go back to the contracts. And let's see, how much cap space do we currently have? We have $2.5 million. So I can sign Boone Jenner to a 1-year deal at $2.1 million. We'll try that. And then as for anybody else on this team, is there anybody I actually want to re-sign to bring back to the AHL team? Hannakainen. Hannakainen isn't bad, but I feel like I could find a better player in the AHL. Cody Franzen, no. Lucas Sedlak. What about Lucas Sedlak? He's just better defensively than he is offensively. Rather not than Summerby. Let's see, he's a defenseman. Let's see, view profile. Can you get much better than that? Yogi Pak I could get better than. Dalpe doesn't even want to re-sign, so that's fine. Schroeder, no. Kukan, no. Czar, no. I'll re-sign Paul Bittner to, I'll just give him what he wants for 1 season. There we go. After that, Siebenaller, no. Scott, no. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to do quite a bit of signing in the AHL, or for the AHL. Now, I'm not going to sign Caedmon McLaren just because he is CHL eligible. Davidson, no. Graves, no. Bureau, I will sign because he can play in the AHL. Loktionov, no, I'm not going to sign Loktionov. Bush, Bemstrom, Osborne, Petrie, Betts. Is he Canadian or is he American? Joe Betts. He is American, so I will sign him. He could play in the AHL as a backup. Junior Gardner, can also sign him as a 17-year-old. Alright, and then Rankwitz. I'm gonna sign Rankwitz. He is 5'8". He's a pretty short guy. Although to be fair, I'm about that same height. And then Emil Grabs. Not gonna sign him either. So we'll try and sign those players. Actually, let's see. Cap space, or not cap space, contract space. How many contract space or spots do we have open? Let's see. We have 5. I'm just going to release a few guys just to make sure I can get those entry-level deals a go. Let's get rid of Harrington. We'll release. Hannakainen, we will release. Franzen, we will release. Sedlak, we will release. And Yoki Paka, we will also release. That should be good. Alright. So there we go. We've got all those players released. We should get everyone back now. Alright, Jenner accepted, Bittner accepted, Bureau, Betts, Gardner, Rankwitz all accepted as well. There we go. Not too bad. So we sim to free agency. Now, I know this was a bit of a long one, guys, but for not doing one episode of the series for quite some time, I'd say it is worth giving you guys a longer episode. Shane Bowers, get off the block, please. Thank you very much. Same thing for you, McLaren. And we come to free agency to see if we could add anybody in here like Tyler Seguin or Drew Doughty or Mitch Marner or Blake Wheeler or Yanni Cord, who's an 88 overall, who we just don't have room for. Jesus Christ. We could have a top line of Nick Schmaltz, Tyler Seguin, and Artemi Panarin. Damn, is that ever tempting, man? Is that ever tempting? How good did he do? He had 87 points last season with 38 goals. Damn, is that ever tempting? And then we've got Mitch Marner, who doesn't want a lot of money, which I obviously can't give him a contract he would want, but is it even possible for us to clear out $8 million in cap space, more than that, at least $8.5 million in cap space to sign someone like Tyler Seguin? Oh man, I mean, I don't know, like, who could I give up here? Like, Cam Atkinson and Brandon Dubinsky. I could get rid. Oh Jesus! Did I do that? Did I sign that contract for Cam Atkinson? I really hope I didn't. I don't think I did. That is an awful contract. No one will want to take that contract, will they? Somebody does want Cam Atkinson. Where was it? Boston, who does not have the cap space. Carolina, who also doesn't have the cap space. But you know what? If we can get Tyler Seguin out of it, screw it, guys. I need a team that wants him. Here, you guys just lost Tyler Seguin. Take a winger. You guys can have Cam Atkinson. Trade rejected. Why don't you? What do you mean you don't want to take the salary of Cam Atkinson? It's great. It's a really good contract. 10%? No? Okay, well, we're just gonna have to go up, aren't we? We're just gonna have to. Let's try 25%. We'll see if that is better. Trade accepted. Okay, so we had to give up 25% of his contract. We now have about $5 million in cap space. Now, as for forwards, we could have a top line of, like I said, we could have a top line of Panarin, Schmaltz, and Seguin, which would be terrifying to play against. We could have a second line of Wenberg, Bjorkstrand, and Dubois or Anderson. Dubois had 43 points last season and 46 in his rookie season for us. As for Josh Anderson, though, I mean, we don't really need a sniper in Anderson, so I'd say Anderson would be the one to go then. Is Milano? Yeah, Milano is just as a third liner. I'd be scared if he jumped up to a second liner, though. That would be no good. Could I trade away Josh Anderson and Brandon Dubinsky as well? Let's see. Then we'd have $13 million in cap space. Who wants them? Detroit. Wait, do you guys actually want one of them? You want both of them. Yes, okay. Please take both of them. They just drafted Escalainen. They also have Brady Tkachuk. Zetterberg is still an 87. Mantha's an 87. Athanasiou was an 85. Larkin's only an 83, which is interesting. And plus, they also want to get rid of him. He's an 83 listed as a second liner, but it does say he's pretty demoralized, so I would assume he's not that bad. But yeah, well, let's go and see a draft pick. Can we get there first? Nope, that's definitely not happening, unfortunately. Can we get there second and third then? Yeah, we probably could. Could we get a prospect who they have unsigned? That's not bad. They drafted Orchak, who is I've never seen pan out, and he's 44 out of the draft. So really, really bad. I don't really want any. Well, I mean, we could go for someone like Benoit Glou, Tyler Popowich, Nathan Dunkley. Oh, this was the Lucic guy that they drafted. 64 out of all. I was gonna say 64 overall out of the draft. Michael Rasmussen's a 73. It was a top 10 overall selection by them. Oliver Wahlstrom I have seen turn into an absolute monster before, so tempting, but no, I'm not gonna do that just because I know what he could turn into. Where's Philip Hronek? Is he just here anywhere? There he is, 78 at 21. So tempting. Philip Hronek is super fast. Jesus, he's got a wicked shot for a defenseman. He's not a great offensive defenseman, though. He's on the last year of his entry-level deal. Could we get Philip Hronek? I would just take out the second round pick. Let's see, who is our defenseman right now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We do actually need one, so let's try that then. Let's get rid of the second round pick. Could we get the third in Hronek? I don't want to take on the contract of Dubinsky. Understandable. I don't know why I have the contract of Dubinsky, to be fair with you. Proposed trade, 15% is not enough. How about 20%? Is that better? Nope. Okay, and 25 should work, hopefully. Yeah, trade rejected. Really. Really. We still have 10 million in cap space, which is good, but I need them to take this because can I add something in this to just make it more worthwhile, please? Please? Oh, Jesus, we have a lot of draft picks. Could I give you our second rounder? Like, is that better? That's still no, really. So I couldn't even entice them to wanting it more. Now we only have 9.8 million to go. That's another trade reject. 40%. If they don't take 40%, I don't know if I'd be able to get. Wow, okay. I may genuinely have to just buy out Dubinsky's contract. If I do want to get say again, Jesus, I was really thinking about that for a sec. That took a while. Could we take their fourth in Hronek? Yes, we could. Josh Anderson goes to a pretty decent offensively minded Detroit team, if you ask me. I'd say they could be really good in the future. Alright, so we're still listed as champions, which is good. Let's go view contracts. So how long have I been recording for? Just under 40 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Where is... No, he wouldn't be here. I have to go into the actual view contracts page. Let's see. Brandon Dubinsky. Can we buy you out? Is that not a thing anymore? Can I just not buy you out, really? Oh, do you have to be on the last year? No, you don't have to be on the last... What? What? Can I buy you out? I don't know if I can then. Maybe not. maybe I can't do that. I'd have to retain 50% then, wouldn't I? Which sucks because then I'd have to also get rid of someone else for cap space. I do not know what I could do. We have 15 contract spaces. What the balls. Let's go back down to Dubinsky, and I'll see if I can trade him at 50% to a team, which unfortunately we'll only have then 6.8 cap. Oh, that's Letestu. I was really confused. I was wondering why it was so low. Where is he? I did just actually click Letestu, not Dubinsky. I just saw the overall and the unhappiness. I just assumed. So let's retain up to 50%, which really does suck. I'm gonna have to retain more because I need to get Sagan. I want to do it so badly now, and I've already made the trades. Or we're going to try to. Here you go, Nashville. You can take him, right? You guys also want to give us Dante Fabro, right? Could I get Dante Fabro? Very good offensive awareness. Did he play last year in the NHL? He did. He had 23 points. Not bad. You guys have a good enough defenseman. You don't need another one like that. Let's try and take Dante Fabro from you guys. Which means let's go to a draft picks. Let's give you our second round pick as well. Will that go through? No, it will not. How about we add someone that is unsigned that has some value other than Caedmon McLaren? That is just no one. You can take Gabriel Carlson. You guys want him, right? Yeah, I know you do. Let's do. Can we get a first from them? A first and Dante Fabro for. Aha, my throat is hurting. Dante Fabro and a first for Dubinsky, a second, and Carlson. I didn't think that would go through, but let's try and add Dallas's third. Would that make it better? No, it will not. Alright, well then, what do we do? What about, no, not a goalie I'd like to get rid of. Is there a defenseman? Also, no, we'd have to get rid of a forward, I would say. And who that would be? Could get rid of Paul Bittner. I know I just re-signed him, but here, take that. No, really? Okay, well, let's just add another draft pick in. I don't want to give up on Dallas's third because we literally just got it, so our third's not going to be enough, is it? It is. Dante Fabro. Welcome to Columbus. Okay, so we're making some unrealistic moves right now, but that's perfectly okay because who said that this series was meant to look realistic? We have some pretty crazy things happening, so now we have just under $8 million in cap space, but I still need to free up some cap, and I'd say next on the block would be David Savard. Yeah, I would say next on the block would be David Savard, which would be okay to be fair, because then as for my defenseman, what I would probably do is I would still have Jones and Werenski playing together, then we'd have Zadorov with Fabro, and it works because they're left and right. And Hronik would be on the bottom pair with someone who we signed from free agency. So you know what? David Savard now on his way out as well. Who needs a defenseman? Vegas, do you guys need a defenseman? You guys want him. Do you guys have anybody you want to give us? Pedersen? Imagine. No, that just wouldn't happen. Do you guys have a defensive prospect? That is good, other than Pedersen. They also have Hagelin, so they drafted 2 medium elite defensemen in that draft, literally a round apart from each other. Nick Hague. Nicholas Hag, very good defensively, which I don't necessarily want. Eric Branstrom is ridiculous offensively. I don't think he'd be ready for the NHL, though, and that's what I need. They also drafted Wheel, that draft. Wow, okay, what a great draft that was from Vegas, damn. Lucas Spiza we could take on. No, we're going to see draft picks. They want to give up on their first. Let me take your first. There we go. So, I know people are going to be kind of upset about that, but we are going to sign Tyler Seguin, guys. So it's okay. And this has been a ridiculously long video. It has been 45, almost 46 minutes long. Tyler Seguin. Let's see, how much money do you want? So, a lot for 1 year, a lot for 2 years, a lot for 3, a lot for 4, a lot for 5. Oh, Jesus, it goes up after that. 7 years for, or we'd have to go like over 10 million, which to be fair is probably worth it, but no, I don't want to do that. So, 4 years or 5? 4 years at, I would say, 9.7 million. 5 years at 9.7 million. I don't know if that's good enough. We're gonna go 9.75. Yeah, 9.75 for the next 5 seasons for Tyler Seguin. I gotta make sure I get him. We're gonna try 9.8. Yeah, no, we're gonna stick with my gut feeling at 9.75. I think that is good enough. So let's try that then. Tyler Seguin for 9.75 million. We will see if that is good enough for him. Jeremy Bracco, I could sign. Very tempting. We do need someone who could probably play in the NHL for us, so we could sign him to a 1 year, $1.1 million deal, which we do have the cap space for. So let's try that then. Jeremy Bracco, alright, we'll try and sign him. We'll probably go to New York though. I don't think our contract is good enough, but I'd rather get Seguin than Bracco, so it is okay. So let's start simming to see who we get out of free agency. And we will see TJ Oshie for Shane Bowers. No thanks. I'd much rather have Shane Bowers. Alright. Guys, leave in the comments below now. Will we get Tyler Seguin? Let's see. Jeremy Bracco actually accepted. Alright. Matt Niskanen for a first. No thank you. My voice. Now, okay. Here we go. Moment of truth. Will we get Tyler Seguin? Yes, we will. Tyler Seguin comes to the Columbus Blue Jackets, boys. And I am so excited for that top line now. Holy frig. It could be a good one. That is for sure. Now let's go see defensemen who are a top 6 that I could sign. Andrew Nielsen is 80 overall. Not too bad. Wicked defensively, but not what I want. I like a defenseman that could just put up some points, guys. Oh, Alex Edler has dropped off quickly. 79 overall. Yeesh. Slater Quack, I have seen put up points, and he did kind of, or does kind of, in the Draft a Glory franchise mode. Tucker Poolman is a defensive defenseman. No, thank you. Dylan DeMello, also a defensive defenseman. No, thank you. We're getting pretty low overall right now as well. So let's go back up here and we'll see. Is there any top 6 defensemen that could put up points? Brandon Carlo, defensive defenseman. Cronwall, basically a defensive defenseman. Girardi, defensive defenseman. Ruta, defensive defenseman. So was TVR. So was Nielsen. I believe so was Nemeth. So was Paul Martins. Toby Enstrom. He may be able to put up points. He put up, that was 21 in the AHL. Well, that's not terrible. But AHL, I don't know, Jake Dawson, no thank you with that 61 discipline. Jordan Oysterley, 11 points in the NHL. You know what? Oysterley may be our best option right now. McQuaid, defensive defenseman, so was Ben, so was Edler. Gunnarsson, is Gunnarsson? Yes, he is. Charrot, I believe, yeah. Davidson, I think he's more of a defensive defenseman. Very much so. Slater, quack. Martin Marinson, defensive defenseman. Kyle Quincy, defensive defenseman. Matt Benning. Matt Benning actually isn't all that bad. Played 7 games in the NHL, the first in year 1. You know what? I think Jordan Oysterley is just the best option here. So he wants a 3-year deal. I'd rather do a 2-year deal. So let's give him a 2-year deal at $1.7 million. We'll see if he likes that. He'd be a good bottom pairing defenseman if you ask me. We're almost done, Ethan. We're almost through this, buddy. Don't worry. Let's see. Can we get Jordan Oysterley? And then we will end the episode after we find out. All right, boys. Come on. 8th of July. Hurry up. Come on. 9th of July. I still don't know. 10th of July? There we go. Jordan Oysterley accepts the deal. And I will finally finish the episode here, guys. This is going to take forever to upload. Okay. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Now, hopefully this is okay for you guys after a very long episode after having almost 2 weeks off from this series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you did all enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.